Have you ever felt like Mark, studied English for ages, got the grammar, the vocab, but then when it's actually time to speak, you just freeze?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of just your mind going blank.
Yeah, exactly. Does that sound familiar to you listening?
It's such a common experience, this feeling of being stuck, even after putting in so much work. Like there's this invisible wall.
It really is a wall, isn't it? And that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into some really insightful material to figure out the core reasons why learners like Mark hit this point.
And crucially, how you can actually break through it.
Right. We're pulling out the practical stuff, the actionable tips, focusing on real stories from learners. It's not just what to do, but really why it works and how it connects to your own journey.
And one of the first big things that jumps out from the material is this idea that speaking English isn't just about, memorizing things, rules, words.
Like Mark was doing, just memorizing.
Exactly. His struggle came because he only learned that way. He didn't practice actual conversation or, and this is key, really thinking in English.
Okay. So it's like having all the parts but never putting them together?
Precisely. You need to be able to assemble those ideas quickly, naturally, when you're actually talking to someone.
So connecting the dots, not just collecting them. Got it. And then there's the fear factor. That comes up a lot. My friend John, he was just terrified of making mistakes.
Oh, the perfectionism trap?
Totally. He wanted it perfect before he even started speaking, which of course meant he barely spoke at all.
And that leads to a really fundamental point in the material. Waiting too long to speak because you're scared. That's probably the biggest mistake you can make.
Really? The biggest?
Arguably, yes. The material actually says, and I love this quote, mistakes are signs that you are learning.
Mistakes are signs that you are learning. That's actually quite liberating, isn't it?
It reframes the whole thing. It gives you permission to be imperfect, which is essential for progress.
Okay, so fear is one hurdle. What other mental blocks tend to get in the way?
Well, a huge one is translating in your head. We heard about Anna, the nurse, and Emily, the teacher. They both did this.
And Lucy, the student, too.
Yes, her too. And it slows you down massively. Plus, you end up making more mistakes because your brain's doing double duty.
Right, translating from your language then into English. It's like this extra unnecessary step, a mental bottleneck.
Exactly. And related to that is something the material calls slow language processing speed. James, the software developer, is a good example.
He knew loads of words, right?
But he'd pause all the time searching for them. It made conversations feel really difficult, sort of stop-start.
Yeah.
There was a disconnect between his knowledge and his ability to use it quickly.
Okay, so his brain wasn't quick enough in English.
Precisely. Which brings us nicely to the solutions and mindset shifts and the core habits that the material really emphasizes for building fluency.
Let's get into those. The biggest one, the one that echoes everywhere, is think directly in English.
It's huge. A game changer.
But how? If you're so used to translating, how do you even start doing that?
It's about retraining your brain, basically. One really practical tip is to just silently describe what's around you.
Like right now, in my kitchen.
Yeah. Think, the refrigerator is cold, or the table is clean. Simple things. Anna and Emily did this describing their daily routines. Mark apparently started doing it from the moment he woke up.
Okay. So you're making these direct connections in English, skipping the translation.
Exactly. You can also connect actions with words as you do them, like I am cutting vegetables or I am boiling water.
Simple, but it makes English part of your internal world, doesn't it?
It really does. And you can even designate specific times, maybe just 15 minutes a day, where you consciously try to only think in English, like a little mental workout.
Language switching. I like that. Training the muscle. Okay, so thinking in English is foundational. What about tackling that fear we talked about? Prioritizing just getting the message out.
Yeah, embracing imperfection. Emily, the nurse, and David, the engineer, they learned that small mistakes, they're fine. The real goal is just communication.
Getting your point across.
Right. And John, remember him? He actually wrote down his mistakes to learn from them instead of letting them stop him.
So don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, but what about those pauses when you're like searching for a word? That makes people anxious.
Lisa learned to just accept short pauses. It's natural. It gives you a second to think. Honestly, it can even make you sound more thoughtful, not less fluent.
That's a relief. You don't have to rush to fill every single silence.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And building on that, the material highlights taking small, consistent steps. Michael started with just 5 minutes of speaking practice a day.
Just 5 minutes?
Yeah, and gradually increased it. It builds confidence without being overwhelming. Consistency is key.
Makes sense. And being patient with yourself, staying positive, It's a journey, right? Celebrate the small wins.
Absolutely. Which leads us into active engagement, listening, and speaking. There's a strong point about listening more than you speak, especially at first.
Like Mark listening to short stories.
Exactly. His breakthrough came because listening helped his brain internalize the rhythm of English, not just isolated words.
But it's not just having it on in the background, is it? It's active listening.
Yes, very active. Sarah, the engineer, she practiced really processing what was said in meetings, noticing linking words, repeating ideas mentally in her own words.
And she wasn't afraid to ask for clarification, like, sorry, what did you mean by?
Right, which is a brave step for many learners. And Rachel, the receptionist, she'd repeat details back. So that's Mr. Thomas, Thomas.
Confirming understanding. Smart.
Yeah, and for tricky situations, fast talkers, noisy places, George and Ethan found that listening for keywords and jotting quick notes helped them get the main points.
That's super practical. Okay, another technique that popped up a lot was shadowing.
Yes, James, the software developer, used it for speed, pronunciation, intonation.
How does it work again? You listen and immediately repeat.
Exactly. You mimic the speaker, copying their rhythm, their pronunciation, everything. Helen did it with news stories. Thomas and Olivia found it useful too.
It sounds like it really connects your ear, brain, and mouth.
It does. It trains you to process and produce English faster. And related to listening, there's accent exposure. Michael, the businessman, listened to podcasts from all over India, South Africa, Scotland.
So getting used to different ways English sounds globally.
Crucial. Jack, Emma, Daniel, lots of people found this vital. English isn't just one accent. You need to train your ear for diversity.
Makes total sense. Okay, so lots of listening, then you have to actually speak. The advice seems to be, start simple.
Speak regularly with simple sentences. Don't wait for perfection. Chloe, Olivia, Michael, Mar, they all benefited from just talking about their day, their opinions, using short sentences.
Like, today I will cook dinner, or I like reading.
Yeah, that daily practice builds momentum and confidence. And James, the developer again, he found storytelling really helpful.
Just telling simple stories.
About his day, anything. It helps you connect words and ideas naturally. Practice thinking in sequence in English.
I like that. It feels creative. What about role-playing? That came up too.
Very useful for specific situations. Lucy, the nurse, practiced hospital scenarios. David, the accountant, and Isabella, the businesswoman, practiced client meetings with friends. Liam focused on meeting phrases.
Preparing for real-life context reduces the anxiety, I guess.
Absolutely. And for public speaking, Paul rehearsed in front of a mirror, joined a club. Lisa used notes, recorded herself. James prepared key phrases for meetings. Preparation is key.
And even just talking to yourself, self-talk or recording your voice.
Definitely. Daniel, who is shy, recorded himself talking about his day. Anna read her diary aloud. Sophie and Emily practiced thinking aloud.
Recording yourself sounds maybe a bit awkward, but useful.
Incredibly useful. You hear your mistakes, yes, but also your progress. And another simple one. Reading aloud. David reads articles aloud for 10 minutes daily.
Just reading out loud, how does that help speaking?
It connects the visual input from your eyes with the physical act of speaking, engaging your mouth and brain together. Builds that muscle memory.
Interesting. And finally, conversation clubs. Getting out there and talking to real people.
Helen and Emma found speaking in groups sped up their progress way more than just studying alone. Real-time practice is invaluable.
Okay, so lots of active practice. Now, what about refining things, getting more specific skills down?
Yes, moving beyond the basics to sound more natural. A big one is learning collocations and phrases, not just single words.
Like take a photo, not make a photo.
Exactly. Or strong coffee, not powerful coffee.
Yeah.
Emma, Claire, Daniel, they all focused on this. Learning words in chunks like this is how native speakers learn, and it makes you sound much more natural.
It helps you avoid those slightly off-sounding sentences.
Right. And this extends to idioms and phrasal verbs too. Tom learned things like get the ball rolling. Rachel and Michael focused on idioms to understand natural speech better.
Those are definitely tricky, but essential for understanding real conversations. Okay, what about pronunciation and intonation?
Huge impact. Olivia, the nurse, worked on the rise and fall of her voice intonation. It made her sound clearer, friendlier. Henry, the architect, practiced connected speech.
How words blend together, like what are you doing, becomes what you doing.
Precisely. Understanding and using connected speech makes you sound more fluid and helps you understand native speakers faster. And minimal pairs like ship and sheep, Sarah and Noah practiced these to avoid critical misunderstandings.
Especially important for nurses.
Absolutely. But the overall goal, the material stresses, is clarity, not necessarily getting rid of your accent. Your accent is fine. Being understood easily is the key.
That's a really important point. Be clear, not someone else. Okay, what about understanding stuff that isn't explicitly said? Implied meaning.
Inference. Yeah, that's a more advanced skill. Robert and Jack practice guessing meaning from context, like, it's getting late, probably means let's wrap this up.
Reading between the lines in a conversation. Tricky.
It takes practice. And then there's explaining complex things simply, using techniques like chunking or paraphrasing.
Chunking, like breaking big ideas down.
Exactly. Henry and Robert use this in meetings, shorter, clearer parts instead of one long explanation. And paraphrasing is saying something in a simpler way if you get stuck. Sophie learned to say, this problem has many effects, instead of struggling with, the ramifications are extensive.
That's a great fallback. Being able to simplify helps everywhere.
Definitely. Olivia, Ethan, Adam, Peter, Daniel, loads of examples of people practicing simplifying language for different people, kids, customers, patients.
Adapting your language, very useful. Now let's touch on business and academic English quickly. That seemed quite specific.
Yes, for those contexts. David, the accountant, worked on polite email phrases like, I would appreciate it if you could. Richard, Jack, Michael, Olivia, Claire, many focused on professional email writing.
Getting that formal tone right.
And for academic work, Anna used linking words for essay flow. Grace focused on clear organization, short sentences. Liam worked on simple sentence structures. Robert studied cohesive devices.
Making academic writing clear and connected.
Right. And using specific vocabulary correctly, Tom practiced technical terms for presentations. Jack focused on work-related questions and answers.
And things like active reading and note-taking for studying.
Essential academic skills. Lucy practiced asking questions while reading, summarizing. Olivia and Daniel used abbreviations for notes. Emily and Hannah worked on active reading and predictive listening in lectures.
Okay, last area, just navigating everyday social situations, the small stuff that can feel big.
Absolutely. Asking for help came up again. Ethan, Rachel, the grocery store example, just politely asking for directions or clarification isn't weakness, it's necessary.
And small talk, those elevator moments, busy day, or hot out, isn't it?
Simple phrases that just ease interactions. Same with giving directions, go straight, turn left. Having these ready helps.
And common shop exchanges, can I help you? Is that everything? Preparing for those?
Reduces anxiety. Sarah, who moved to Canada, found just saying hi, smiling, and asking, do I pay here, made a huge difference to her confidence.
It's those little wins. Okay, final point here. Awkward moments. We all have them. Saying the wrong thing.
Happens to everyone. The advice is great. Positive self-talk, that was awkward, but it's okay. And learn casual recovery phrases.
Like?
No worries. It's okay. All good. These help you smooth things over and actually make you sound more natural and confident, even after a slip-up.
Recovering gracefully. Love it. Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for you listening?
I think the core message from all these stories and insights is pretty clear. Breaking through that fluency barrier, whatever level you're at, it really comes down to active practice.
Yeah, listening actively, speaking freely, even if it's not perfect.
And crucially, making that shift to thinking in English as much as possible. It's about communication over perfection.
The solution seems almost simple, but powerful. Listen every day, think in English, speak often.
Simple to say, maybe harder to do consistently, but that's what all these stories show works. The progress comes from that consistent effort and having the courage to just try.
It really is about consistency and courage, isn't it? So maybe the final thought for you is this. Reflecting on all these people who made progress.
Just by taking small steps consistently.
Exactly. If you commit to taking those small intentional steps every single day, really embracing the process, finding your own voice in English, what could open up for you?
What new conversations, new connections, maybe even opportunities you haven't even imagined yet?
So the question is, what's the one small active step you're going to take today to start making English a more natural part of how you think and speak?